Hello everyone. I welcome you all to today's first session on current affairs for the upcoming APSC mains. I welcome all of you. I am Rajdeep Lekharu, Director of Civil Services Achievers Point. So we will have a 2-hour session to discuss the current affairs. I'll brief everything in details, how we are going to proceed with this class, how it is going to help you in the upcoming mains in a very short time period. So before we start, I just want to see if any one of you are attending this live. Can you just comment in the comment section if my voice is audible and clear enough for all of you to understand? All right, Anshuman, thank you for your reply. So we all can go ahead. So this will be a 15 days journey in total in a time duration of 45 days, and we are targeting to complete the entire 1 year of current affairs for all the subtopics of the GS papers to cover in this 15 days of sessions, which is going to help you to add content. Okay, I'll tell you at the very outset of our class that this content of our current affairs classes will help you in two ways. First way, if any direct question is coming directly from the current affairs, which was visible in the last year APSC mains, where we could see questions being directly picked up from the current affairs, like Jibon Ninga scheme, which was directly picked up from Assam Tribune. This year also, we can expect direct questions to be picked up from the topics of current affairs. So this class will directly help you in dealing with those kind of questions. Apart from that, even if direct questions are not coming from the topics that we will discuss in this class, but this content will definitely help you in developing your content, in upgrading your content, in making your content of your answers a multi-dimensional one. To address different questions, you will get contents from our classes. So we will discuss that which content can be utilized in which part of the syllabus, but for that you all need to know the different parts of the syllabus of all the GS papers. So in GS1 we know that there is history, culture, geography, or Indian society. So if we get a topic on social media or YouTube, so we can expect a question that what is the impact of social media or globalization on the Indian society or on the youths or on different sections of the society. So whenever we come across any particular news from today, you should have a 360-degree angle of viewpoint, considering the news item and interlinking this news item with the different parts of the syllabus. All right. So I hope this program will definitely help you. Today we are starting from the last year March current affairs. We'll be dealing 1 month current affairs we'll try to deal 1 month current affairs in one class. Okay. And at last we'll have some additional classes where we'll be covering different topics. All right. So here we begin with the classes, with the topics. So total of 13 months of current affairs will be covered from March 2022. All right. To this year, it will be more than 13 months actually, because right now we are in the month of April. So till April we are considering 13 months. All right. But since the exam is going to be conducted on June, so we'll try to cover the news from the upcoming month of this year, that is May also, but we'll see that. All right. And around 500 many important topics we will discuss in this entire duration of classes of current affairs. All right. Now before we begin, many people are confused from where to get the PDFs and from where to, and today in the morning half we also had a discussion of the first test series that was yesterday. we had a 3 hours total live class on history paper. So those of you who have missed it, you can go back to our channel CSAP and go and attend that session, because I'm very sure that will help you revise the entire syllabus in a short duration of 3 hours. Some more sectional tests will be conducted on history or on GS1 paper. So if you want to have the schedule, you can go to our website www.csap.co.in. It is available there. You can get the schedule, write the test, and if you want the evaluation, then you need to subscribe to our package. Otherwise, this package is completely free of cost. I know you all are aware about this. Okay. So if any other information you need, you can contact this number 91275-15541. Alright. So the first news that we'll be discussing in today's class is from the history. You can directly relate with GS1 topic of the syllabus, or also with GS5 Assam history syllabus. Alright, and you all know that Charaido Madam has been given the prestigious UNESCO World Heritage Site. We all know this. Okay, so in addition to the two already UNESCO World Heritage Site of Assam, that is Kaziranga and Manas National Park, which this was awarded, I guess, in 1985. So the third one that has been allotted is Charaido Madam. Now, from this particular topic, the most important part that you should know, in mains directly you can expect a question. Okay, this question you can also find in our upcoming test series. Alright, so you can, because in order to get a status like UNESCO World Heritage Site, we all know that there are two parts. One is tangible heritage site and the other one is intangible, the cultural part, right? So this will come under the tangible part. Okay, so but there are 10 criterias. Okay, 10 criterias to be eligible to become a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Now this question can be a probable question in the upcoming APSC mains, where they might ask you about the criteria, and this is also available in the Nitin Singhania Art and Culture book, all the 10 pointers, right? So and this is a very favorite topic of UPSC, because APSC is also trying to adopt its pattern as per UPSC. Okay, so UNESCO World Heritage Site, and this you will get in our test series question. There you will get all the 10 criteria as a model answer. Alright, and that will be discussed in our class. So we will not discuss that because this is a current affairs class. So this becomes a very important topic. You should be knowing about Charaido Madam. Okay, and the government of Assam, this was there, the inaugural session. This particular points, okay, importance, sacred landscape and value-based management of the Ahom Madams of Charaido in Assam. Okay, so you should be writing this kind of words in your answers also. Okay, if you are not doing this, if you do this, definitely you will get 1 mark extra. Okay, if you write government language, if you write government language in your answers, if you can reflect that, যদি আপোনালোকে এখিনি reflect কৰিব পাৰে আপোনালোকৰ answer short, you will get definitely 1 mark extra. Okay, if this kind of questions are coming. Now this particular news, where we can use it. Okay, any question on art and culture, any question on Assam's history, okay, or any question on the history of Assam and the current relevance, okay, you can definitely use this particular news to enhance the content of your answer. Alright, moving ahead to the second news. This is about the International Day of Yoga 2022. Okay, June 21st, we all know that we celebrate the International Yoga Day, and this is basically to raise the awareness about the health and well-being advantages of yoga. Okay, now importance of yoga. Okay, now this year the theme was, you know, this was the 8th edition Yoga for Humanity. Okay, and this news came when, like, okay, this was of last year, okay, not of this year, this was of 2022 8. Now this year's Yoga Day is coming. Okay, so we also have to know that. So this was the Yoga Mahotsav which was celebrated. Alright, and these are some benefits that we talked about. And this particular news you can use, for example, there was a question on there was a question, I think, on 2017 or 2016 year in APSC mains, and it talked about the Buddhism. Okay, the question was on Buddhism, and they tried to address the question with a different part, and how can we use Buddha's teaching, okay, in contemporary time period to solve the contemporary society's crisis or problems. Okay, that was the question. Now we can relate that. with the history and the current time period. We all know that from now there are so many teachings of Buddhism, right? For example, if we talk about the Asthamarga principle, so there was this particular point of right livelihood. I think you all know this, right livelihood. Now I'll tell you that there is a current scenario of crisis in terms of health, because the current generation is adopting a wrong livelihood, and this has especially started to happen in a country after the LPG reforms. Now please try to understand how I'm trying to connect different points and try to frame an answer with a multidimensional angle. I am trying to connect LPG reforms, how LPG reforms has led to the wrong livelihood in our country. LPG reforms brought so many MNC culture in our country, which made our skilled laborers work in a time zone which is not fit for us. Okay, for example, if you're working in an US shift or UK shift, you're working till late night, 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, and we are eating also at the same time, which is not right, which is not a right livelihood as per our different we can say our if we try to talk about the time period of the sunrise and sunset and try to relate with our body cycle of eating habits, okay, so we know that that is wrong. The digestion is not that proper, and because of this, after LPG reforms in our health sector, the situations like hypertension, diabetes, cholesterol problem, this has increased, and this is very common among the citizens of a country. But before 1991, among the health sector, the major problem was like health crisis like tuberculosis. Okay, so this diseases were more prominent before 1991, but after 1991, this is like a watershed in terms of health crisis. Our new diseases have popped up or have become more prominent. Okay, so this type of things, why I'm sharing this with you, because there was an editorial, okay, in The Hindu which tried to discuss about this watershed, okay, the divide of the health crisis. All right, so this type of things you can relate with yoga, with Buddha's teachings like right livelihood. Right livelihood, why I connected this with this news is because this is also teaching us what? Right livelihood. All right, so this kind of points you can always interrelate, and this will always help you when you are studying the editorials of good newspaper like the Hindu, Indian Express or Assam Tribune. All right, so you can always use this kind of news in this kind of answers also. If you have any queries, you can always write in the comment section. I hope my voice is audible. If my voice is audible, you can just write yes, and if you're getting what I'm trying to explain it to you, please write yes in the comment section. All right, so we'll proceed to the next news. This was the advertisements on the newspapers, okay, and why I have taken this advertisements from the newspapers is just to help you to create the language of the government, okay, and if you can reflect this language in your answers, it will definitely fetch you more marks. Okay, this basically talked about the restoring the roots and the indigenous and tribal faith and cultural department. Okay, now this is a very important news, because last year under budget provision there was the creation of a department for preserving and promoting different faiths and culture of various indigenous and tribal communities of Assam. So a new department has been promised to create. Okay, what was the fund allocated? 100 crore. Now in APSC prelims they could have directly asked this, okay, because this kind of questions you can expect in the prelims itself. How many fund the corpus fund has been allotted for this particular department, okay, but how will the implementation be there? So this is the name of the department, Indigenous and Tribal Faith and Cultural Department. Now if there is any question in GS1 how to preserve the indigenous culture of the tribes, or any question on the preservation of cultural rights, okay, or look after the indigenous people's rights, you can always mention this as a way forward, as a solution, or as a government initiative already taken for the empowerment or the upliftment of the tribal people or of the indigenous people of the state. Alright, so this is, you can use as an example. So there will be a web portal, registration facility. So these things you need not look after, but you should know this news. This particular news should be there in at least one answer of your exam. Okay, and keeping Assam is a book of indigenous and tribal faith and culture. Now you see, this is a government language. Now this can be an essay topic. Alright, this can be an essay topic. Assam is a bouquet of indigenous and tribal faith and culture. Okay, don't be surprised if this comes as an essay topic. Okay, so now what will you write if this comes as an essay topic? Okay, this is a government language, and this APSC or UPSC always tries to pick up this kind of statements in the form of essay. Okay, so keeping this in view, Government of Assam has created this department. We have already discussed this. অসমীয়াত ক'ব গ'লে খিলঞ্জীয়া আৰু জনজাতি বিশ্বাস আৰু সংস্কৃতি বিভাগ. Okay, so this is to preserve and promote faith and culture of anthropologically indigenous and tribal communities. Now, under this, the three objectives you should always know: that keep undertaking deep research, laying a strong foundation, preparing an action plan for state government for the preservation of the faith and culture of different indigenous tribes of the state. Okay, so this is very, very important news from our cultural subtopic syllabus of your GS1. All right. Okay, one of you have asked, where will you get a PDF of this? You just need to register. Okay, you just need to register. It's a free of cost registration, and the registration link has been added in the description of this YouTube video. All right, so just register there, and you will get the PDF. Okay, you'll get a Google Drive access, and you don't have to worry about it. Okay. So next is the National Handloom Day is observed on August 7th. Okay, so this day has been specially now handloom. Whenever you are talking about handloom, okay, so you know about this kind of things, you should always write in your any question on women empowerment, or any question on upliftment, or any question on employment, okay, or any question on Atmanirbhar Bharat or Atmanirbhar Assam, because this kind of statements, once I got in a newspaper article that before we go for Atmanirbhar Bharat, we should go for Atmanirbhar Assam. Okay, that will make the country Atmanirbhar in terms of production, in terms of employment, in terms of so many other angles. All right. So this National Handloom Day was observed. So this was added there. Okay. But this day, now why I tell you this? Because whenever this kind of things comes up, okay, if you read the newspaper, you'll always find that this day has a special significance in the history of freedom struggle in the country, because on this particular day, our Swadeshi Andolan was started in 1905. Now we all know about this. Okay. Now from the history perspective, from the modern Indian history perspective, this is an important theme for your or a probable question, but this will be dealt in the history section. Okay, but this was there, so that is why we discussed. You should always relate if anything is coming from this particular part. So you should always try to relate history and current affairs. Okay, or any part of your syllabus with the current affairs. Okay, as a content or as a one-line statement. So this is why we took this just to show you how to upgrade and enhance your content of your answers. All right. So there, Modi urged, the Prime Minister of India urged all youngsters associated with the world of startups to take part in my handloom, my pride challenge. Okay, so this kind of initiatives. Now you see, whenever because there will be a lot of questions. There will be a lot of questions on startup, okay, or on employment generation, or on innovation in science and technology. Okay. Now there, sometimes the questions demand is to address government's initiative, that if any, or even in MSME sector. Okay, we'll also get an MSME question here. There's so many questions can come from this kind of topics. Okay, this kind of topic just trigger the question, will helps trigger the question, help the question setter to trigger the question. Now suppose there is a question coming on MSME, for example. Okay, suppose there is a question coming on MSME, because this topic is covering MSME, this topic is also covering startup India, stand up India. Okay, then your Make in India, all right, your demographic dividend, okay, employment, okay. Now these are various topics of your syllabus. All right, then investment, okay, investment is also a topic of your syllabus. Then innovation can be also, then women empowerment, okay, women empowerment, this is also a topic of, now in all these topics, any question, if any question is coming, you can always use this kind of statements, like as Government of India, as the Prime Minister of India has initiated this my handloom, my pride challenge. Okay, you can add this. This will be only one of the point. All right. Now I will tell you how you can use this in another question. For example, if you pick up a question from MSME sector, that if I give you a statement, suppose MSME is the backbone of Assam's economy. Okay, as MSME is the backbone of Assam's economy. Critically analyze the above statement by highlighting the government initiatives or the challenges that Assam is facing in the sector of MSME. Now you can frame the question in any form, right? The question is on MSME. Okay, the MSME is the backbone of India's economy. Now, if the word is critically analyzed, then you have to write both in favor of the statement that how MSME is the backbone of India's economy or Assam's economy. The question can be in any form. You also have to counter the statement that how MSMEs cannot be the backbone of India's economy or Assam's economy. All right. So while addressing that question, now first of all, when you write an answer, if this is a question, if I take this as a question that MSME is the backbone of Assam's economy, now first of all you have to, in the introduction part, what will you write? Okay, now you will write that either you can start with a definition. That, okay, as per the MSME Development Act, you can write the definition of MSME. Okay, or maybe you can write, or you can address that how MSME is the backbone of India's or Assam's economy. You can consider that as an introduction para also. All right, but how you will use these news? Okay, that of the handloom part. Now, what is this in? What is there in the news? That in collaboration with this department, okay, District Industries and Commerce Center where is this department? Yes, there is a Directorate of Handloom and Textiles Assam. Okay, so they have organized a District Handloom Expo under NHDP. All right. So now the main part here, you know that so many people from the village level or even from the tribal communities of Assam, they are engaged in different crafts, different handlooms, okay, with their prominent cultures attributed in the handloom. Now they are getting a platform, okay, they are getting a platform. Now, when we are discussing this MSME question, okay, for example, if we are asking you to critically analyze, now if I tell you that MSME cannot be the backbone of India's economy or Assam's economy, now there you have to write 3-4 points in countering the statement. Okay, now what will be the countering statement that why MSME cannot be the backbone of Assam's economy? For example, we know that Assam is an agricultural state, okay, where more than 70% of the people are engaged in the agricultural sector. Okay, so definitely agriculture has to be the backbone of Assam's economy and not MSME. All right, but if, and in the other hand, if I tell you that how MSME is the backbone of Assam's economy, because MSME is generating what? Employment. Yes or no? MSME is generating employment. So definitely it can be the Assam's backbone in terms of economy. As MSME is also generating what? Export. MSME is also generating export. If export is getting generated, then Assam's revenue will definitely increase, and that is how MSME can become Assam's economy. And moreover, more than that, definitely if this is happening, Assam state GDP will increase, and that is why also, that is how we can say MSME can become is a prominent or is having definitely potential in becoming one of the backbone of Assam's economy. Okay, that we can write in the conclusion line. Okay, if not in total, but it can definitely be one of the backbone of Assam's economy. But moreover, apart from this, MSME will definitely improve what? Inclusive, or it will foster inclusive growth, where because of these things. Okay, and how to do this? For example, you can just quote this, bringing up this kind of innovative startup culture as the Prime Minister of India had launched My Handloom, My Pride. Okay, so this kind of things you can write in your answers. All right, so I hope my point is clear to all of you. So moving ahead to the next part. Okay, moving ahead to the next part, where we'll discuss about the society. Okay, Indian society is there in GS1, right? You all know about this. So there was this Hunar Hath. Okay, again we can relate handloom, we can relate startup, we can relate demographic dividend. Everything we'll discuss. Okay, so 38th Hunar Hath, a conference of craft, cuisine, and culture was being organized. So here more than 600 artisans and craftsmen, including large number of women artisans. Okay, so this is also having a dimension of women empowerment. Okay, so this was the first time in Northeast which was being organized. So here you can try to bring the cultural aspect, okay, the how it is creating an impact on the society, okay, how it is creating an impact on the society. If you now see, this is just the point which you can mention in your answers, okay, mention in your answers. For example, if you are talking about Hunar Haat, you can use this question topic on topics of women, again the same things, okay, startup, okay, stand up India, startup India, or even your you can talk about the tribal community upliftment, okay, you can talk about it, you can talk about the demographic dividend, you can talk about how it is creating an enabling environment for business development in Assam, okay, how it is going to create positive upliftment in the GDP sector, okay, and along with that, these are the direct influence on the economy. But what are the different soft, if I talk about the soft influences on because of Hunar Haat, this is also creating what, an amalgamation of your cultural values, okay, and this is promoting unity and integrity among the different cultural values and attributes of the society, okay, because Hunar Haat is also bringing different artisans from the other states also across India. So that is also letting us making us aware about the different cultural values of a country. So that is also creating a different kind of unity and integrity among the different citizens of the country. So okay, so you can relate this kind of news with different from different dimensions, obviously. Apart from that, if we go ahead again in GS1, if we talk about the geography part, there was one important news, and that was basically about the canyons. Okay, so you know that you know about the geography syllabus, right? You know about the geography syllabus, and in geography syllabus there is this topic of landforms, right? There is this topic of landforms under physical geography. Okay, so we won't go in much details or depth in this topic here right now, because that will be dealt in the geography portion. But if we talk about the different landforms, so we know that canyons is a landform, right? And the most famous canyon you must be aware, that is found in North America, right? Because the Great Canyons, River Colorado is dissecting it. So there was a new canyon. Okay, first time it was discovered in Covada. Okay, this is in in one of the district of Andhra Pradesh. So this discovery was made by the team from CSIR, National Institute of Oceanography, and which is located in Visakhapatnam. So this is important for your prelims. Okay, these three canyons together form a major canyon system in the depths of Bay of Bengal. All right. So you should be knowing about the geographical aspect of canyons. Okay. But not much very important from the mains perspective. But again, from the geography part, they might ask you about different landforms. Okay, and there you might mention this. Okay, and you might mention about this current affairs also in your answer. Moving ahead to the next news, this in the GS2 paper where we talk about the governance. All right. So you know governance is a very important part of your syllabus, and there are many news from good governance, okay, and various subtopics from this particular topic. Now, first of all, before we move ahead to governance, if I tell you what do you understand by good governance, okay, or in fact, you can even expect an essay, okay, you can even expect an essay on this particular topic of good governance. All right. So, good governance, definitely, you can write an introduction, but there are so many initiatives being taken to promote good governance. You should be aware about these initiatives of the governments, because this kind of schemes or initiatives or programs are being directly asked in the question. Okay. So for example, why I picked up this news, this was last year where it mentioned about the 87% crorepati ministers in UP. Okay. Now, see, there was a recently, in fact, Association of Democratic Reports, ADR, also launched a report where they talked about the assets of all the chief ministers of the state of India. So this kind of news is depicting what? Criminalization of politics. Okay, so that is an important topic, which this topic is triggering or giving us a topic for the exam. Okay, which we can relate with this topic is the criminalization of politics. All right. So criminalization of politics can definitely be a very important question on GS2 paper, and where you need to know or you need to know about how it should be removed or how it should be tackled, or what are the government initiatives that are being taken. Okay, so here, for example, if you see, I'll give you a fact that the amicus curiae, okay, a total of 4984 criminal cases involving legislators were pending in various courts across the country as of 1st December 2021. So you can see almost around 5,000 criminal cases are being involved in by 1st of December 2021. So you can see that our legislatures, if they are having a criminal background, okay, so what can be the impact on the democracy? Okay, so criminalization of politics and promotion and the relations with healthy democracy. Okay, it can be a essay topic also at the same time. So you need to think about this topic. And so Supreme Court has allotted a fast track cases. So if you need anything regarding a solution or to reduce criminalization of politics, so you can mention this particular real life example. Okay, so in this regard, Indian Constitution does not specify as to what disqualifies a person. Now this is again directly related with the Constitution, where we are talking about the disqualification process. Okay, now in sometimes from the Constitution, when you are expecting a question, for example, Article 105 is there, where we are talking about parliamentary privileges which are being provided to the MPs, member of parliaments in our country, and that is there in the Constitution itself. Now that is coming in counter, okay, with the disqualification process, because the disqualification of MPs gets limited or restricted because of the privileges that have to be given in order to maintain the healthy democracy at the same time. Okay, so in fact, the Representation of People's Act of 1951 is also mentioning about a disqualifying a person for contesting an election for the legislature if that person is directly involved in any particular crime. And this section 8 of the Act, okay, this is specifically talking about that disqualification on conviction for certain offences, according to which an individual punished with a jail term of more than 2 years. If anyone is punished for jail for more than 2 years, they cannot stand in an election for 6 years after the jail term has been ended. All right. So this is there as per the RT Act of 1951, and you know that in GS paper 2, this particular act is also very important. So I will request all of you to look after, because you will expect a question in your test series in polity, okay, on this particular act, because in the last year also there was a direct question from this particular Representation of People Act 1951, and this is a topic which is directly there in the syllabus. All right, so you need to know this, and please prepare for this. You'll expect a question, and you'll also get the model answer in our test series discussion. All right, next, now this is a very interesting news which was on Assam. Okay, Assam and governance, and Assam abolishes system of revenue towns. Okay, now for example, if there is a question which is trying to relate that how good governance can promote inclusive growth, or how good governance can promote the upliftment of the downtrodden section, downtrodden people, or the downtrodden section of the society. Okay, so this can be used as one of the point in your answer, where you can mention about that how important is to rationalize. Okay, how important is to rationalize the land premium rates. Okay, the rationalization of rates is very important for any society. Why? I'll tell you, because land is an entitlement right. Okay, matir potta jondo ami ko matir potta, the ownership right. Okay, the ownership right that we are talking about, this is a right to entitlement. Okay, now right to entitlement is also a way for empowerment. Are you getting it? Right to entitlement is a way to empowerment. Now I'll tell you how this actually happens. For example, if you observe, after the establishment of Niti Aayog in our country, Niti Aayog is very keen with this particular concept. Okay, this kind of concepts you are understanding, and this, if you can reflect it in your answers, it will definitely fetch you more marks. Okay, because why? Because we are writing about the government initiatives, and government initiatives are having a reason. Okay, why they are bringing it. For example, Niti Aayog had asked all the ministries after its establishment to look after the right to entitlement, especially for women. Okay, especially for women, and that is why if you observe keenly with all these schemes launched. For example, if you talk about Ujwala scheme, okay, you see there the women are getting the gas connections on their name. Okay, even right now, if you talk about Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, there also it is special focus has been given that the ownership rights of many houses should be given on the woman's name. Okay, so this is what a right to entitlement, because once you get a right to entitlement, okay, you also your empowerment is also being looked after. So now this revenue town concept, okay, for example, if there is a municipality town, okay, so in the periphery, these small towns were considered as revenue towns, okay, but the irony was that the tax or the registration fees, whatever was being collected, was very high, okay, and it was a very difficult situation for the downtrodden section people of a society to get their names registered or get their properties transferred on their names. Okay, it was very, and we all know that they are also being exploited through different forms of corruption. So this revenue towns, okay, so Assam has abolished this concept of revenue town so that the and the reasons like these are some examples of like Hilghat, Koliapur, Sapormukh, Dhupdhara, Krishnai, Panitula site, okay, this which do not have municipal boards and where municipal elections are not held used to be governed under revenue towns. Okay, so there this is abolished, and so now the fees will be reduced for the registration, and this will help the poorer people, okay, for to get their right to entitlements. All right, so this kind of news you can always use in different questions wherever it is relevant. Okay, so please keep these things in mind. Now next, this news was there which talks about that the Union Minister Shekhawat, the deadlines must be met, and especially for two particular schemes, Jal Jeevan Mission and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. Now this is very, very important. These are like now the flagship programs of the present government. Okay, the Jal Jeevan Mission and the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan mission. All right. So this is why this schemes or this becomes very important, and you should be aware about, or you should be ready with some content, okay, to write on this particular topics. And this kind of statements like Har Ghar Jal and Open Defecation Free Plus, okay, goal. Now these are some of the important flagship goals of the current government. So this Jal Jeevan Mission, we all know that pipe water supply to all rural households by 2024 has to be met. Okay, but now how do you relate Jal Jeevan Mission with different parts? Okay, sometimes you can expect a question on Jal Jeevan Mission and on different parts of the society. For example, how Jal Jeevan Mission is. Now I'll tell you one thing. Now how do you relate and how do you make your answer different from rest of the candidates? Okay, because the more like relevant content you will write and the more difference your content will be having, you'll be able to fetch more marks. I'll tell you, when I was reading Jal Jeevan Mission, okay, one point triggered in my mind, and that was and how this mission is going to empower women. Okay, if you talk about Jal Jeevan Mission and empowering women, can you relate something? If it is able to provide water to every household, you will understand that in rural areas, around 3 to 4 hours every day, women are wasting of their day-to-day life. Every day they have to spend 3 to 4 hours in going out, in coming back, waiting for the water. You might have seen this kind of pictures in the movies, okay, or even if you have seen it in your rural areas. য'ত মহিলাসকলে ৩-৪ ঘণ্টা লাইনত ৰখি পেলাই তেওঁলোকে পানী কালেক্ট কৰি আকৌ ঘৰলৈ ঘূৰি আহিব লাগে। তো এই 3-4 ঘণ্টা তেওঁলোকৰ সেভ হ'ব দিনটো, তেওঁলোকৰ বেলেগ কাম কৰিব পাৰিব। They can look after themselves, they can get some skill, they can do some handloom activities, they can do so many activities. Their economic stability will improve, right? যদি এই সময়খিনি বাচি যায়। আৰু এনেকুৱা এটা ৰিপৰ্ট আছিলে যে তেওঁলোকে পানী আনিব যোৱাৰ সময়তো মহিলাসকলৰ sexual harassment হোৱাৰ incidences আছে. So even the protection of women will improve. So I am telling you that this Jal Jeevan Mission, you can look from how many angles, okay? So I am asking you to broaden up. Okay, I'm asking you to broaden up your thinking capacity and how you think from a multi-dimensional angle. That is very important. Okay, so now this scheme is very important. This is one of the most flagship program that by 2024. Okay, so you should know its impact. Definitely, water is coming to all the households. Definitely, the the household's nutritional level, okay, because it will also improve the hygiene of the household, okay. So the nutrition hygiene angle, and if this is happening, again we can relate with some other angle of our syllabus, that is demographic dividend. Because if pure water is available at the house itself, just imagine the health conditions will improve in the household, and if the health conditions of the youths are improving, okay, now we all know that India is talking about demographic dividend, okay, how we can make our demography produce dividend and not become a burden for the society, okay, how it can become a burden. For example, we all know that more than 60-65% of the population of a country are youths, okay, but if these youths are not having proper health, if these youths are not having proper skills, then these skills will be dependent on whom? On the government, okay, or some other members of the society. So this demography will become a burden for the Indian society, right? But if they are having proper good health, if they are having good skill sets, that is why on the other hand we are also having a national skill development mission running, which is also a flagship mission of the government of India at the present moment. So that is why we need to look after the health and the skill and different angles of the youth, so that they can contribute positively towards the economic upliftment of the country, and this will make our demography produce dividends. And that is how we can relate Jal Jeevan mission. Don't just look this mission only by looking after the features, okay, but try to relate this part with in a multi-dimensional angle. Reflect these points in your answers. You'll see you'll get 1 mark, 2 mark extra, and if you can fetch 1-2 mark extra from an average candidate in the mains, okay, you will definitely secure a top rank. All right, because you can just make a calculation, simple calculation. Even if you're getting 1 mark extra in all the 20 questions in one paper, you're getting 20 marks extra in every paper. So there are total 5 papers, you get 100 marks extra. Just imagine 100 marks difference from the rest of the candidate, you'll get a top rank 1 in the exam, okay. So that should be your extra target, how to fetch that extra 1 mark in every answer. All right. Then apart from this, again you know that this Swachh Bharat Abhiyan mission is also there. We all know this, okay. Now OTF Sustainable Sujalam, this was launched in August 25. The focus area of the campaign is what? Construction of 1 million soak pits, retrofitting of toilets, access to toilets for new households, and 100 days campaign for grey water management and ODF sustainability. You understand what is grey water management, right? This is the recycling of water, okay, from the washrooms or whatever the wastewater that is going out. So if you recycle it, a lot of water can be saved, okay. So it is a very important thing. So you should have some idea about this particular topic. Now again, this is a very important flagship program of the government of Assam. We all know about this, right? And this is your Orunodoi scheme, right? So this is all talking about your women empowerment, okay. Now আমি জানো যে অৰুণোদয় স্কিমৰ আন্ডাৰত যিখিনি মুঠ হিতাধিকাৰী আছে, almost you can see 42 crores, okay, 42 crores 71 lakhs 393, okay, female women they are getting it, and প্ৰতি মাহে ধন আদায় হৈছে প্ৰায় ইমান কোটি টকা, okay. You even if you do not know it is fine, but if you can write this facts and figures in answers, you can again fetch some more marks. All right. So অৰুণোদয় আঁচনিৰ অধীনত প্ৰতিগৰাকী মহিলা হিতাধিকাৰী মহিলা অৰুণোদয় 1000 টকালৈ বৃদ্ধি, so the amount has been increased, okay. So this along with this প্ৰতি মাহে 10 তাৰিখে ৰাষ্ট্ৰীয় বৃদ্ধি পেঞ্চন, okay, old age pension, okay, then দিব্যাংজন সাহায্য, okay, the specially able or differently able citizens are also getting the aids, and widow pension, the widow pension scheme. Okay, so these are all being looked after, and this is what you can expect a question on what? Social justice, okay. If you're talking about social justice, so if you talk about social justice, so in social justice you should know for all the sections like women, okay, elderly citizens, okay, then transgenders is also coming there, okay, transgenders. Then you can talk about early childhood care, okay, early childhood care. Then you can talk about your specially able citizens, okay. You can talk about specially able citizens and so on. All right. So you should be knowing about the schemes which are specifically for this section of people, where we need to promote the social justice, we need to look after their safety and security, and we need to look after the empowerment of this section of the society, okay. So we all know the Orunodoi scheme. So this can be important. Sometimes the exam might also ask you to write a short note, okay, on the following. As for example, last year short notes were being asked, okay, of 15 marks, and they asked you to write short notes on 3 points, okay, and 5 marks each. So that kind of questions you might even expect this year also. All right. Then this was an important program, that is the National Deworming Day. Again, why it is important? Okay, deworming. We all understand that we need to inject and feed a child, okay, with this tablet, that is albendazole tablet. All right, and we know that worms makes our child what? Anemic, weak, undernourished, too sick and tired to concentrate. Okay, now why this is important? Again, you see, if our future generation are suffering from anemic, or they're weak, or they're undernourished, so definitely our demography might become a burden for us, right? So we need to take care of the health. And also we know that this is also coming under the directive principles of state policy, where we need to look after the early childhood care. Okay, for that we have different ASHA workers, Anganwadi workers. Okay, so there is an entire structure being built up. All right, so this entire is very important, this national deworming program. You might expect a short note to be written on this, and how this can be utilized to promote empowerment of the youths, okay, or of the children. So this is very important, that you need to see this. Other practices to prevent worm infections. So you should be knowing this kind of points. Sometimes you might even use these contents in your essay content. Okay, that do not defecate in the open. These are very simple. Wash your hands, keep meals clean and short, keep your surroundings clean. Okay, so drink clean water. So this kind of points, you'll already know it. Okay, so nothing much to focus upon. All right. After that, so this is the news on Assam again, that 3373 posts of secondary school teachers lying vacant in BTC region. Now this, you should just keep on writing this headlines. Okay, if there is any question on education scenario of Assam, okay, so you should be, when you are addressing as a negative parts, okay, the challenges of the education sector of Assam, you can use this particular point. Okay, so apart from that, there is not much of this news related to this particular thing. Okay, then this project Sadbhavana, what are we discussing? We are discussing good governance. Okay, now good governance is to promote what? Is to deliver the services, whatever government is providing service to the citizens. If you are able to provide these services to the citizens in a faster way, okay, in a more efficient way, okay, by reducing the leakages or the corruptions, okay, by improving the transparency and accountability. So this entire mechanism will promote what? Then it will make our governance a good one, right? So we know that if in order to now Digital India program is there, or whatever online initiatives the government is launching, these are to promote what? These are to promote your the efficiency and the productivity of the government schemes. Okay, so even for Assam, okay, we have launched project Sadbhavana. Okay, so directly you can expect a question on project Sadbhavana, okay, and which was launched last year on February 1, 2022, and this is to dispose all the pending files in the Assam State Secretariat. And if this is happening, so maximum of the works will happen in a more faster and efficient way. So definitely this will uplift the governance scenario of our state. Okay, so now this project mission Sadbhavana, okay, now under this we have major three factors, okay, three objectives we have that, and first one is what? Gotito file responsive. Okay, whatever files are there, if it needs to be moved in a faster way. If it is not moved in a faster way, we know that the works are not getting implemented in a faster manner. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, okay, this is also part of Sadbhavana mission, okay, and then e-office Vyavasthapana, okay, e-office, you definitely understand how it will promote your efficiency of the office. So this is what is Sadbhavana, so you can always look after it and be prepared to address and answer, and you can also expect a question on this topic in our test series. Okay, so we'll discuss a proper answer for this particular topic in our test series discussions. All right, and the test series discussion, you all can get the schedule in our website, that is www.csap.co.in. all right, now if we move ahead to the next news, that is the bridging the digital health divide. Okay, digital health divide. Now you see that what is health divide? There are so many divisions, there are so many divides in a country. Okay, for example, if we talk about north-south divide, okay, North India versus South India, then there is another divide which we can talk about the literates and the illiterates. Okay, then there is another divide based on gender, male versus female. All right, then there is another divide. For example, you can talk about the rural area versus the urban area. Okay, then the skilled versus the unskilled. These divides have been there in India since even before independence, and even after independence it divides. India is a country of divides, okay, with so and so divides. But now in the 21st century we have a new divide, and what is that? The digital, because of the digital scenario. Okay, whoever is digitally literate, they are one section of the population, and those who are not digitally literate, they are the other section of the population. Okay, so that divide is always there. Okay, and within that we also have a digital health divide. Okay, because of the different telemedicine services and everything. So in order to now you see that the digital divide is also there in the offline mode. Okay, because for example, if any person who is living in a rural area and any person who is living in a very proper metro city, okay, the amount of facilities that they are getting is having a huge difference, is having a vast difference, right? So because of that, there is also a health divide. Okay, but now Government of India along with the different states is covering this health divide by promoting universal health coverage. Okay, so universal health coverage can be an essay topic. Universal health coverage can be your you can also expect a question on this, because there are so many schemes running on the health sector. Okay, so within that there are even schemes like for insurance we have a scheme like Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan scheme, right? So in order to promote this universal health coverage, okay, wherever the facilities are not available, okay, we are trying to promote, we are trying to reach to these people through the digital media, and that for that we have a scheme launched, that is e-Sanjeevani. Okay, this is a national telemedicine service. It's a step towards digital health equity to achieve universal health coverage. Okay, so you can be getting a question to write a 5-marker question on e-Sanjeevani. All right, so apart from that, you can see this particular thing where e-Sanjeevani teleconsultation service, it is making healthcare affordable and accessible. I'll tell you now. See, this kind of things you can even write if there is a question on, for example, inclusive growth. Okay, if there is a question on inclusive growth, how can you write this? Then how e-Sanjeevani can promote inclusive growth? Inclusive growth is a topic of GS3. Okay, now inclusive growth, even the government slogan Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas and Sabka Vishwas. Okay, so Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas means what? If there is GDP growth in the country, its benefits should reach to the person who is lying in the most downtrodden or the most bottomest strata of the society. Okay, but to look after this inclusive growth, I will tell you to define inclusive growth with a 3A strategy. Okay, 3A strategy. Now what is this 3A strategy? Anything that is following having this 3A's are promoting inclusive growth. For example, 3A means first A is affordable, then accessible, and then available. Okay, now if I try to ask you that whether education in Assam is inclusive or not, okay, so I will ask you the questions with the help of this 3A. Whether good quality education is affordable for everyone in Assam. If the answer is no, then education is not inclusive. Whether it is affordable for everyone. If it is no, then it is not inclusive. Whether it is accessible for everyone. If it is no, then it is not inclusive. So you need to see that we can define inclusive growth with this 3A strategy. The same thing is also is applicable for health. If good quality health facilities are available, accessible or affordable, if it is no, then we don't have inclusive health facilities for the poorer sections of the society. That can be even look after for the infrastructure, even for physical infrastructure, or in fact even for digital infrastructure. This was there during the COVID time period. We all know that during COVID time period, the education shifted to the online mode. But what happened to those section of people who did not have good quality LAN connection or internet connection, who did not have a mobile phone in their home? Okay, so what happens to those people? So the digital education system was also not inclusive. So that is how the same thing e-Sanjeevani is trying to make what? So this came in my mind because I saw this towards affordable and accessible. If it is trying to make anything affordable and accessible, then definitely this promoting what? Inclusive growth in a country. So there are some features, all right. There are some features. For example, this will under this is available in more than 2,500 health and wellness centers across Assam. More than 4 lakh teleconsultation services have been offered already. Okay, and so if we download this app and we'll get this like facilities. Now their advantages is like this is accessible and equitable. Okay, healthcare is now more affordable. If from a village, if anyone has to go to a distant place, এজন গাঁৱৰ মানুহৰ কাৰণে হেল্থত আগতে যদি আপোনালোকে মন কৰে টিবি আমি টিবি টিউবাৰকুলোচিছ আমি গুচাবলৈ আমি ইমান কিয় চ্যালেঞ্জ ফেস কৰিব লগা হৈছিল কাৰণ ম্যাক্সিমাম যিসকল লিভাৰ তেওঁলোকে দিন হাজিৰা কৰে তেওঁলোকে যদি টিবি লবলৈ টিবিৰ ইনজেকশন লবলৈ যদি যাব লগিয়া আছিল তেওঁলোকে এদিন তেওঁলোকৰ টিবি ইনজেকশনটো লতে গুচি গৈছিল তেওঁলোকে এদিন যদি তাত হেল্থৰ নামত spend কৰিব লগা হয় তেওঁলোকে এদিন দিন হাজিৰা ইনকাম কৰিব নোৱাৰিব এন্ড দ্যাট ইজ ওয়াই তেওঁলোক নগৈছিলে টিবি ইনজেকশন লবলৈ গতিকে সেই কাৰণে টিবি আমি গুচাবলৈ বহুত চ্যালেঞ্জ ফেস কৰিব লগা হৈছিল এই কাৰণে ঘৰে ঘৰে পিছত গৈ টিবি ইনজেকশন দিব লগা হৈছিল নাও দিস ইজ এটা আপনি দূৰত যোৱাটো that becomes a very challenging thing for a poorer section of people আৰু transportation খৰচা পাতিৰ কথা আছে সো সেই কাৰণে যদি টেলিমেডিসিনৰ থ্ৰু দি হয় so it makes more accessible and equitable. So these are some of the advantages you can go after. It helps in early detection of illness. ঘর বই ফোনতে যদি আপনি কম পাই যায় so definitely it will help you in timely referral. It decreases out of pocket expenditure. Okay, out of pocket expenditure extra খরচা আপনার নহবতা. Okay, it will act as a gatekeeping mechanism for secondary and tertiary care health institutions. Okay, tertiary or secondary care health institutions যিখিনি আছে PHCs যিখিনি আছে তেওঁলোকৰ তাত ফোন আহিলে কি হ'ব তেওঁলোকৰ এটা ৰেকৰ্ড মেইনটেইন হ'ব যে ওকে এখন গাঁৱত ইমানখিনি পেশেন্ট আছে তেওঁলোকৰ এইটো আছে okay so it will also form as a health record for the society so definitely this is going to help in so many ways. All right, so next moving ahead to the next news and that is your again from the governance angle for the property registration and everything. This does not seem to be a very important one, okay, but since it is a news on the governance part, so I have added this that this is to simplify and expedite the process of registration for transfer or lease. All right, so ঘৰ ভাড়া ঘৰ কিনা বেচা কৰিলে যিখিনি process আছে সেইখিনি অলপ fast কৰিবলৈ another goal of Assam government was administrative reforms. Okay, so President's assent to the Central Act, the Registration Act of 1908, and there is a notification for this, the Registration Assam Amendment 2021 to make these processes simpler. All right. Next, we move ahead to the polity part of the syllabus. Okay, again a very important part of our topics. Okay, Vishal Talukar has asked, are these free classes? Yes, Vishal, these are completely free of cost. We are not charging any single penny. Okay, a good class kinit ami gutteikhini current affairs cover korim of last 1 year for the upcoming APSC mains. Etur logot apnaloke test series pai ase 25 ta test series tar schedule phone number www.csap.co.in already mentioned uploaded ase aru amar every alternate days of test series ase joakali eta history test hoy goise oha kali amar geography test ase sectional test hoy ase eta bortoman GS1 or okay prottekhon paper or 3ta ke section test ase total 15 tests for 5 papers tar pisot 5ta full length test ase all right total 20ta test hogol ar 5ta essay test thakibo tar maje schedule khon apnaloke amar website ot pabo www.csap.co.in so if you are jodi apnaloke ei test series kini kori ase bhalkoi religiously current affairs kini kori ase aru tar log amar marathon classes kisuman hobo okay around 90 hours of classes marathon classes hobo jod ami gute important topics ni not all ami apnaloke jane iman kom khomayot ami gute khini syllabus cover koribo noaru you will get all the important topics of all the static portion of the syllabus okay which will be discussed again free of cost in our YouTube channel okay CSAP YouTube channel so ami ei tinta part or thodi ami gute mains or portion khini cover korim aru ami will make sure je amar ei tinta initiative jate topics overlap no hoy we are also looking after that okay so that ami apnalok maximum topics dibo paru okay so that is the main agenda of CSAP right now to help the students of Assam aru ami etu kyo korisu karon ami janu je অসমত এবাৰ প্ৰথমবাৰৰ বাবে around 10000 মানুহে মেইনছ লিখিব যোনটো অসমৰ হিষ্ট্ৰীত কেতিয়াও হোৱা নাই আৰু এই 10000 ষ্টুডেন্টৰ ভিতৰত ম্যাক্সিমাম ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰী এবাৰ অসমৰ APSC যি মেইনছৰ পৰীক্ষা বহিব তেওঁলোকে ম্যাক্সিমামে এবাৰ প্ৰথমবাৰ এটেম্প্ট তেওঁলোকৰ এবাৰ মেইনছৰ হ'ব আৰু এইবাৰ মেইনছৰ পেপাৰখন যদি তেওঁলোকৰ ভাল হয় আগন্তুক সময়ত ইনফেক্ট আমাৰ UPSC মেইনছ লিখাৰ ক্যান্ডিডেটস বাঢ়িব and this means writing experience will help them in also UPSC মেইনছ okay so আমাৰ UPSC টো অসমৰ পৰা ছাত্ৰ ছাত্ৰী ওলাবলৈ আৰু অধিক সংখ্যাত আমি সক্ষম হ'ম বুলি আমি আশাবাদী সেইকাৰণে আমি এই গোটেই কোৰ্সটো আমি ফ্ৰী অফ কষ্ট আনিছো ইয়াৰ খালি এটাই চাৰ্জ আছে যদি টেষ্ট সিৰিজ আপোনালোকে যদি টেষ্ট সিৰিজত যদি আপোনালোকে উত্তৰ লিখি আমাক ইভালুৱেচনৰ কাৰণে পঠাব বিচাৰে তাৰ কাৰণে এটা সৰু ফিজ আছে আৰু এই গোটেই কোৰ্সখিনি যদি আপোনালোকে অফলাইন কৰিব বিচাৰে তাৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ 10,000 rupees 10,000 টকা আমি চাৰ্জ কৰিছো আৰু টেষ্ট সিৰিজ ইভালুৱেচনৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ 25 তাৰিখলৈ এটা অফাৰ চলি আছে 2,000 টকা আপোনালোকে পাই আছে 25 তাৰিখৰ পিছত আমাৰ হেতু 5,000 টকা হ'ব আৰু 25 তাৰিখে আপোনালোকে সকলোৱে জানে যে আমি শ্ৰী অনিল স্বৰূপ ছাৰকো আকৌ আবার আমি অসমলৈ আনি আছো তেওঁ এথিক্সৰ পেপাৰখনত খুব এক্সপাৰ্ট হয় তেওঁ মেইনছত খুব এক্সপাৰ্ট হয় আৰু তেওঁ 38 ইয়াৰ্স অফ এক্সপিৰিয়েন্স থকা এজন ৰিটায়াৰ্ড IAS অফিচাৰ তেওঁ কোল ইণ্ডিয়া সেক্ৰেটাৰী আছিল ইউনিয়ন মিনিষ্ট্ৰি আৰু তেখেতে তিনিখন কিতাপ লিখিছে আফটাৰ হিজ ৰিটায়াৰমেন্ট এণ্ড উই আৰ ব্ৰিঙিং হিম তেখেতৰ সেশন হ'ব সুদমাৰ্চন হল কটন ইউনিভাৰ্চিটি ৰাতিপুৱা 10টা বজাৰ পৰা 25 এপ্ৰিলৰ দিনাখন গতিকে those of you are writing means this time I will tell you that you should be at attending that session which is definitely going to help you okay কিবা ডাউট থাকিলে আপোনালোকে আমাক খুদিব আৰু ইয়াতে এজন ষ্টুডেন্টে খুদিছে ঠিক আছে ক্যামেৰাটো ওচৰত ৰাখিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰিম okay aru mains answer writing evaluation hobo niki okay mains answer writing evaluation ami korim but for that there is a small fees okay karon evaluation koribole bahut samoy lage aru gotike tar karone ami student base to komabole ami eta fees rakhisu tar karone so jodi anyone is interested you can just register okay there is a registration link in the comments in the description part of this video so that আপোনালোকে registration কৰি লওক আৰু এটা ফোন নম্বৰ দি আছে তাত যদি কোনোবাই purchase কৰিব বিচাৰিছে আপোনালোকে ফোন নম্বৰটো কৰি পেলাই আপোনালোকে কিনিব পাৰিব 25 তাৰিখলৈ এটা অফাৰ আছে you will get the evaluation of the test series at just 2,000 rupees after 25th of April it will be 5,000 rupees all right so next is again from the polity part important part that is your labor laws okay now you know again see sub topic all of interrelate hoy thake okay now labor laws amak kyo lage poribole because labor laws is again a very important topic of governance of polity of employment generation of human resource okay even the divide that was talking about male versus female okay because of labor laws apnaloke jodi sai there was this editorial okay in the Hindu all of whole kemaman jot etu discuss korisile je in the last decade okay eta ami 2023 asu tar etu discuss korisile in the last decade je female population or in higher education okay female population in higher education engagement has increased it has increased okay in the last decade but the irony was that female participation in labor force has decreased okay so this editorial was there where it was discussed that in the last decade female participation in higher education has increased but the irony is even after increase in higher education female participation in labor force has decreased okay because proportionally sabo gole jodi higher education of basic participation hoise ta mane sakori loke etu convert hobo lage okay ba labor force on etu convert hobo lage but this is not happening in Indian society okay so tar karone they are now we will not discuss that topic okay but these things are also related with this okay female women empowerment labor laws reforms okay females participation in labor force okay female safety and security also at a cultural angle that there has been always a cultural baggage on the women or on the female part of our society, because of which they are not able to continue their work. Okay, sometimes even after marriage or after a report from it will that after the first delivery of a baby, okay, maximum female discontinue with their work, okay, even if they are highly qualified. All right, so this kind of points are there. But apart from that, labor laws has to be reformed in our country, karon amar yat laborers যদি efficiency improve নহয়, it is directly reflected in the efficiency or in the productivity of the companies or the organization, and which will directly reflect on the upliftment of the GDP of a country, right? So এখানে there have been time to time বহুত labor laws আছে, okay, আৰু especially এই labor laws pur, since it is in the state list of the Indian Constitution, okay, so there has been so many labor laws that there is a confusion, okay, there is always a confusion, and this confusion especially arises during the exit policy, okay, during the exit policy of any particular organization, okay. So if exit policy is not reformed, then it also contributes towards a negative side or reduces the efficiency of the organizations, okay. So এখানে labor laws er upor aru বহুত khini labor laws jeneki apnaloke sabo pare je eta e-shram portal er kotha koise sarkare, okay, jot again where we talk about good governance with the help of what, with the help of online digital mode, right? E-shram portal er kotha koa hoise for to bring labor, then eta unique identification number er kotha koa hoise labor reforms er karone, okay. So all these things you should be knowing. You can expect a question on labor reforms in our governance part of polity GS2 paper, okay, where ami tat aplok eta bhal answer dim to how to write about the labor reforms, okay. So this bulk of trouble due to labor laws, states need to act, okay. DPIIT secretary কৈছে যে বহুত বেছি labor laws আছে, so আমি reforms কৰি labor laws কমাব লাগে, আমি uniform labor laws আনিব লাগে across India, okay, because you know that laborers are also getting migrated from one part to the another part, okay. So all these things has to be looked after. So next, again we were discussing about social justice অলপ আগত, okay, we were discussing about social justice. So you know that there was this news on this topic, 405 high court judges post vacant across country. But this is like a evergreen topic, okay, this is like a evergreen topic, we all know this. Now first of all, why this post have been vacant for so long? If we now you know that if we start from DPSP article 50, right, it talks about independence of what? Independence of judiciary from legislature and executive, right? A part 2 yeah, okay, keeping this part, DPSP Indian Constitution says that judiciary should be independent from the executive and legislature. So এতিয়া যদি আমি judiciary part আহো, if we talk about the appointment or the promotion of the judges, so we know that তাতে আমি এটা collegium system follow কৰি আইছো, right? Collegium system from the 1990s we have been following. But then in 2014 there was a bill, that is your NJAC, and which became an act, National Judicial Appointment Commission Act, okay, which came in 2014. 2014 এখন act আহিছিলে, and this bill became an act, it was passed in the parliament. আৰু Supreme Court কলে তাৰ পিছত they nullified this act. Since you all are preparing for mains, I am very hopeful that you know this background, okay, so I'm not going much into that because this is a current affairs class only. So this particular act, as per Supreme Court, was violating the basic structure doctrine of Indian Constitution, okay, which came in 1972 by the case for Nanda Bharti case. So hetu kyo teloke kole je it is violating the basic structure doctrine because it was directly what, affecting the independence of judiciary, and they said that independence of judiciary is also a part of the basic structure doctrine. But then why did Supreme Court say that this was affecting or violating the basic structure doctrine? Because National Judicial Appointment Commission Act was trying to look after the appointment and the promotion of judges, and a appointment কৰাৰ যিটো কমিটি ফৰ্ম হ'ব এই কমিটিখনত কৈছিলে যে তিনিজন মেম্বাৰ জুডিচিয়াৰী থাকিব আৰু তিনিজন মেম্বাৰ এক্সিকিউটিভৰ বিহাফত থাকিব so judiciary was of the opinion that why executive people will be looking after the appointment of the judiciary and that was a direct breach of article 50 okay and which is also a part of the basic structure doctrine of Indian constitution and that is why this act was nullified and since then for many years the appointment of judge was not happening okay because of the confusion whether to go back to the collegium system or whether to follow the NJSC act and there was a complete fight going on between the legislature and executive on one side and the judiciary on the other side and because of this conflict and this conflict has been there since independence okay this is not a new thing in Indian society after independence all right so because of this conflict who was facing the crisis this topic social justice you see if there are not many not the required number of judges available so we know the pending number of cases in judiciary will increase and there was a report I think 3-4 years back that more than 3 crores cases have been pending and so this is why this news is there so now what will be the question that you can expect in the question paper that regarding the pending of cases okay so this question also you can expect in our test series of polity all right and here you will have to write about the reasons for the high pending number of cases in Indian judiciary and what are the solutions way forward and what are the government initiatives or the Supreme Court or High Court's initiatives to look after this even government has initiated like fast track court e-court systems okay to look after to dispatch the cases as soon as possible all right so this is a very very important topic from your means polity perspective all right now coming to the next part okay we are discussing all the important topics and I'm very sure last year if you see last year jodi apnaloke sai amar jodu test series asil job of APSC mains or agot more than 70% questions common asile okay more than 70% questions common asil APSC main question papers of GS 1 2 3 mainly okay so এবাৰো আমি যিমান পাৰো চেষ্টা কৰিম যে টপিকস খিনি কমন পেলাবলৈ কোৱেশ্চন ডাইৰেক্টলি কমন নাহিব পাৰে বাট টপিকস কমন আহিব সো কনসিডাৰ দিস এজ টপিকস নট এজ ওয়ান ইন্ডিভিজুৱেল নিউজ ঠিক আছে আপোনালোকে এবোৰক এটা টপিক বুলি কনসিডাৰ কৰিব আৰু এই টপিকবোৰ চালি জাৰি ভালকে 360 ডিগ্ৰী এংগেলৰ পৰা পঢ়িব ওকে সাফিশিয়েন্ট টাইম আছে ডেৰ মাহতো যদি আপোনালোকে around 500 to 1000 topics cover কৰিব পাৰে আৰু যিমান পাৰে আনসাৰ ৰাইটিং প্ৰেক্টিস কৰিব লাগিব ওকে আনসাৰ ৰাইটিং ইজ ভেৰি ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট ওকে আই উইল টেল ইউ ফ্ৰম দি মেইনস আনসাৰ ৰাইটিং এক্সপেৰিয়েন্স যে যিমান আপোনালোকে কম টাইমত 3 ঘণ্টাত 250 মাৰ্কছৰ কাৰণে যেতিয়া আপোনালোকে লিখিব যাব আপোনালোকৰ হাত বিখাব এদিনত দুখন পেপাৰ কে হ'ব কন্টিনিউয়াসলি হ'ব ঠিক আছে সো তাত আপোনালোকে বেছি সময় নাপায় ভাবিবলৈ যোৱাবাৰ বহুতৰ পেপাৰ কমপ্লিট হোৱা নাছিলে ইফ ইউ আৰ নট এবল টু কমপ্লিট ইয়োৰ পেপাৰ ইট বিকামস ভেৰি ডিফিকাল্ট টু স্কোৰ গুড মাৰ্কস ওকে অকল এক্সামটো ক্লিয়াৰ কৰাই নহয় আপোনালোকক যদি টপ ৰেংক লাগে ইউ শুড বি able to complete the papers তাৰ কাৰণে আনসাৰ ৰাইটিং টু প্ৰেক্টিস কৰিব লাগিব আৰু এইকাৰণে আমি এভৰি অল্টাৰনেট ডেজত কেতিয়াবা এদিন দুদিন প্লাস মাইনাস হ'ব পাৰে স্কেডুলখন দিয়াই আছে মই অলৰেডি আপোনাক কৈছো www.csap.co.in সো আপোনালোকে ডেইলি আনসাৰ লিখা আৰম্ভ কৰক ওকে ইভালুৱেচনৰ কাৰণে আপোনালোকে আমাক পঠাব ওকে তাৰ কাৰণে খালি অলপ এটা সৰু চাৰ্জ আছে আদাৰৱাইজ এভৰিথিং ইজ ফ্ৰী পিডিএফ পাই যাব পিডিএফ কাৰণে আপোনালোকে ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেচন কৰিব লাগিব ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেচন ইজ ফ্ৰী পিডিএফ পাই যাব এইখন পিডিএফ পাব টেষ্ট সিৰিজৰ পিডিএফ পাব মাৰাথন ক্লাছৰ পিডিএফ পাব ঠিক আছে সো দ্য পইণ্ট ইজ এই 45 ডেজৰ যদি গুটেখিনি কাম আমাৰ লগত যদি এটু পেছৰ যদি কৰি লয় এন্ড উই আৰ গোইং উইথ GS1 সিলেবাস ওয়াইজ আমি গৈ আছো 45 ডেজৰ আমাৰ সিলেবাস কমপ্লিট হ'ব তাৰ পিছত 15 ডেজ যদি আপোনালোকে সময় পায় হাতত ৰিভিজন কৰিব বাট এই 45-60 ডেজত ইফ ইউ আৰ ৰাইটিং 5 আনসাৰ্স মিনিমাম 5 আনসাৰ্স নহয় every alternate days to আমি 20 টাকে কোৱেশ্চন দিমে আপোনালোকক 25 টা টেষ্ট সিৰিজ আছে সো 20 টাকে প্ৰশ্ন যদি আপোনালোকে লিখিব পাৰে every alternate days I will tell you কোনো ৰখাব নোৱাৰে আপোনালোকক মেইনস পাস কৰি এটা ভাল ৰেংক পাবলৈ in the final round of your exam okay so but answer writing is must answer writing যিমান কৰিব হিমানে মাইন্ডটো খুল খাব আৰু হিমানে আপোনালোকে এক্সামৰ কাৰণে ভালকে প্ৰিপেয়াৰ হৈ গৈ থাকিব অলৰাইট সো I request all of you যে আপোনালোকে মেইনস আনসাৰ ৰাইটিং টু কন্টিনিউ কৰক আৰু স্টাৰ্ট কৰক যোনে স্টাৰ্ট কৰা নাই সো নেক্সট ইজ your international relations এটা IR পৰা কোৱেশ্চনস ডেফিনেটলি আহে okay so this is what if we talk about Okay, this is what if we talk about international relations of part of কিবা ডাউট আছে যদি আপোনাকে সুধিব পাৰে if there is any doubt you can ask me okay so moving ahead I am making progress in evacuation eto apnake hokolwe jane je jo bosor Russia Ukraine war choli asile to tate India bahut kini sahay korisile amar jiman kini manu evacuation taba koribo asile aru ei naam to ki asile operation Ganga so eta short note I hope on operation Ganga okay so eto apnake sabo tar bisot Afghanistan praises Indian quality which sent as aid okay hetu time out Amar India bahut samoy bahut aid pathai thake okay to maintain the soft power diplomacy among in the international relation all right and that is very important in fact to project a country as a superpower or as a rising or promising superpower of the globe in the 21st century so etu Afghanistan etu praise korisile but apart from that etu route to sabo a route to ahisile newspaper hekane a route to bahut questions ahi pore on India Afghanistan relation or because of the Russia Ukraine war also this entire portion becomes important now yate apnake sabo je yat bahut kini international relations khumai ase jot India is trying to at least have some impact on Afghanistan karon Afghanistan is claimed as the heartland okay it is claimed as the heartland of the global power okay Kunmajan Western scholar in fact koi goisil je whosoever will control Afghanistan will be able to control the globe okay because Afghanistan is geostrategically very very important not only geostrategically also as per resources regarding Afghanistan until 1960s it was a very very peaceful very very developing country but after that you see that this has been the most disputed place because of this particular importance of this country but India is also trying to maintain a very good equation with Afghanistan right because you know that this China is also trying to prevent India from getting engaged with Afghanistan or India prevent koribole China etu project anisle there is this province called as Xinjiang province and from this China was developing this China Pakistan economic corridor and there was a port which was developed named as Gwadar port right so etu pura rasta infrastructure to Indian border kakhere anisle to block India's movement in fact before that there was a TAPI okay Turkmenistan Afghanistan Pakistan India pipeline project gas pipeline project coming from the Central Asia which is very very resourceful in terms of natural gas but then that was also blocked by Pakistan now China has been blocking India to go to Afghanistan okay but then since India's cordial relation with Iran and which has helped India to maintain and Afghanistan is a landlocked country Afghanistan ekhon landlocked dekh hoy jot India directly reach korbo nware aru etu no flying zone hoy jay India karone so India directly Afghanistan jabo nware so tar karone India is trying to enter Afghanistan with the help of Chabahar port which was also being developed by India aru India ifali khumaise and India not only has helped Afghanistan by supplying wheat but India is also helping all the infrastructure projects of Afghanistan okay in fact Afghanistan's parliament was built up by India in fact there was a quadrilateral highway which is called as Delaram highway right that is also being built by India in Afghanistan okay and India is also focusing on the natural oil gas resources in this part okay aru hekini nohoy but again getting diverted from this topic but I mean basic divert nohoy this is directly of international relations in when we discuss India Afghanistan relationship okay teneke apnake gote ekhon country sabo lage to have a proper understanding of IR but I mean IR portion will give you questions will give you during our marathon classes I mean kisuman important topics I mean discuss korim class all right so moving ahead to the next news that is your joint study on India Bangladesh Trade Pact okay so we are trying to form a comprehensive economic partnership agreement so aplage eta bostu sabo je a free trade agreement okay this free trade agreement jontu ase bilateral free trade agreement there are various okay you can expect a question on this okay GS3 amar test result mein pabo that there are different layers of bilateral agreement between two countries. Okay, now what are these layers of agreement? Okay, starting with preferential trade agreement to your bilateral trade, free trade agreement to last of a union form present, a European Union. Okay, form present. So you should be knowing all the different যে প্রত্যেকটো লেভেলত কেনেকুৱা কি এডভান্টেজ আছে কেনেকুৱা কি ডিসএডভান্টেজ আছে ওকে সো ইউ হ্যাভ টু বি ভেরি ভেরি থৰো উইথ দিস পার্ট সো ইন্ডিয়া বাংলাদেশ আর বর্ডার হাজ এখিনি ফর্ম হইছে সো দিস ইউ ক্যান অলওয়েজ ইউজ ইন এনি অফ দি question that is coming in the IR part. All right, next part that we can cover is your science and technology. I mean, akobar koisu that what we are covering the important topics of current affairs from last 1 year, and that is the month of March of last year. Okay, so aji ami cover kori asu March 2022 current affairs kini cover kori asu, and we are trying to discuss the important topics. We will make sure যে কোনো important topic miss নহয় এই topic খিনি prepare কৰি ৰাখক you will see maximum questions coming common. Okay, ঠিক আছে so হেকানে if you have missed, okay, this will be like a revision even if you have done it. Okay, if you have not done it, just follow it. Okay, and you do some research work on these topics, prepare some content. Amar ইয়াপা questions agibo test series ot. Okay, write those answers, practice eta hobo, revision hobo, and that is how you will be able to boost up your confidence and maintain the momentum of your preparation. Okay, and this is also very important from the Assam part. Okay, from the Assam part, science and technology etu amar apnake jane science and technology becomes very important. Okay, so this news is about the project Netra, or in fact etu I think ebar prelims ot ahisile. Okay, ebar prelims ot ahisile. So this is ISRO that is trying to set up a radar. Okay, or to Chandrapur area thobo Assam State Space Application Center recently visited a proposed site. Okay, now this is going to help the Indian space missions, okay, and especially to detect the debris and other hazards to Indian satellites. Okay, so this is definitely going to be a very very important part from the security perspective of the country, and this is also boosting up the northeast prominence. Okay, this is in Assam, the northeast is getting marked in the satellite and this kind of presence in the satellite mapping. Okay, and along with that, this is making us self independent and empowered. Okay, in terms of maintaining security. All right, so currently we have to depend on this data from the American Aerospace Defense Command, but now we'll be having our own telescopes and everything. Okay, to look after this particular items. Apart from that, if we talk about the next news, there is a small technical issue. All right, we're back. So this news was actually directly taken from the paper. So yeah, all of fonts were clear on it, so nothing to worry about that. Just news to important now. The state plans to install 1,000 megawatt of solar power. Okay, so now the most important topic of which we can expect is the renewable energy and non-renewable energy. Okay, so renewable energy is a very important topic. Here for apnake eta question pabo amar test series otu pabo. In fact apnake paper to main APSC paper to apnake expect koribo pare a question on this particular topic. Okay, so renewable energy source or different eta saw renewable energy upor question proshno ahile সকলোৱে লিখিব পাৰিব, but এই টপিক এই পইণ্টটো আপোনালোকে যদি গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট ইনিচিয়েটিভ বুলি এড কৰি দিয়ে, ওকে, your answer content will be enhanced more. So এখানে renewable energy GS3 টো এড কৰি থব যে কিমান 1000 মেগাৱাট অফ সোলাৰ পাৱাৰ. ওকে, সো বাকি ইয়াৰ ডিটেইলছ খিনি আমাৰ টেষ্ট সিৰিজৰ কোৱেশ্চনৰ মডেল আনসাৰ আপোনালোকে পাই যাব. ওকে, এজ আ পইণ্ট. Apart from that, Apollo Hospital এটো বহুত বেছি ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট নিউজ নহয়, বাট ডাইৰেক্টলি নাহে এটো কেতিয়াও. ওকে, বাট যদি কেতিয়াবা হেলথৰ ওপৰত যদি কিবা কোৱেশ্চন আহে তাত আপোনালোকে এটো এটা এড কৰিব পাৰে যে Apollo Kolkata. ওকে, Apollo Multi Specialty Hospital Kolkata first time Eastern India launch কৰিছে কি bronchial thermoplastia painless procedure treatment to severe for those who are suffering from asthma. Okay, so not very important direct questions here expect koribo para najai, but then Eastern India jehetu Apollo kibara notun launch korise ekan ami newsot rakhi thoisu. Okay, anyways, moving ahead to the next part of the syllabus of GS3, that is our That is our economic development. Okay, that is our economic development. Now these are very, very important topics again. Okay, yet eta sabo with a vision to promote sustainable trade and create market linkages. A mega buyer-seller meet was organized under One District, One Product initiative of Department DPIIT, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. Now this is creating a mega buyer-seller meet, and that is a main challenge for any economy to grow. Okay, from a developing state to a developed state. Okay, karon developing state jeta apni ase that apni jodi ka produce korisu, you don't get a proper market. Or proper market hum pabole you have to go far jon apnar transportation cost hai. If the government is not helping you out in that, so it becomes a very difficult scenario for you to sell your items. Artat apna ki amar manokhini exploited hoy. For example, the farmers, right? So one district, one product. Now this will also help create a USP. This can also promote tourism in the upcoming time period. Okay, the Ekhon district era product ase, and this we are helping by creating a platform. Now economic growth, for example, okay, for example, agone APSC eta bahut famous eta common question thakisile je what are the reasons that Assam has not been able to grow industrially. Okay, but what are the reasons that Assam has not been able to grow economically. Okay, this highlight the reasons and what are the government initiatives taken forward. This was a very common question. In fact, mains dubar tinibar repeat hoisile etu question agote. Okay, so but then the question still remains valid. Assam is yet to develop economically or industrially. Okay, so enekwa dhৰণৰ প্ৰশ্ন যেতিয়া আহিব তাত government initiatives এটা পুৰণা পইণ্টছবোৰ লিখিলে নহব, নতুন পইণ্টছত আপোনালোকে এইবোৰ বস্তু এড কৰিব লাগিব. ওৱান ডিস্ট্ৰিক্ট ওৱান প্ৰডাক্ট ইনিচিয়েটিভ অফ দিস এলং উইথ দ্য ডিপাৰ্টমেণ্ট মিনিষ্ট্ৰী. অ'কে, এইবোৰ ডোনাৰ মিনিষ্ট্ৰী কথা, মিনিষ্ট্ৰী অফ কমাৰ্চ এণ্ড ইণ্ডাষ্ট্ৰী উইথ দ্য ছাপোৰ্ট অফ মিনিষ্ট্ৰী অফ ডোনাৰ. প্লিজ হাইলাইট দিস পইণ্টছ ইন ইউৰ আনচাৰ্ছ. অ'কে, দ্য মোৰ যিমান আপোনালোকে চৰকাৰী ভাষাৰ আনচাৰ উত্তৰ দিব যাব সিমানে আপোনালোকৰ নম্বৰো বাঢ়িব, 1-2 নম্বৰ. গতিকে এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ প্ৰশ্নত আপোনালোকে এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ এটা দুটা পইণ্ট যদি এড কৰিব পাৰে, it will really help you to improve your marks. Next, so this was the এখন নিউজত আহিছিলে. Okay, আৰু এইবোৰ নিউজৰ পৰা বহুতখিনি কোৱেশ্চন আহে. ইনগ্ৰেশ্যন অফ International Buyer-Seller Meet for Agricultural and Processed Food Products of Assam by the Chief Minister of Assam at Taj Vivanta. Okay, so this is also promoting, you see, Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative. So if you're getting a question on self-sufficiency, okay, self-reliant economy or Atmanirbhar Bharat, and how to make this successful, okay, so we have to write this sub points in our answers. Okay, so eta news item of directly question ahibo pare, but again mo prothomore apnalok koisilo je ei news bure apnalok kene koi apnalokor main proshnobur uttor koribole apnalok content enhance koribole sahay koribo. Tar karone apnaloke just yar important points khini likhi rakhok, you will see apnalokor mains answers bahut improve hobo. Okay, and from this current affairs again I am telling you je ei current affairs oba apnalokor amar test series or apnaloke questions pabo, aru ei questions bor je answer likhibo ei current affairs khini apnaloke jeta tat dibo apnalokor revision or a practice ho jabo and it will remain in your mind. Okay, so I hope apnaloke ekhon copy or pen loi bohise class board PPT PDF আমি সব দি দিম, কোনো টেনশন নাই, কিন্তু PDF পোৱা মানে কি হেতু আপুনি পিছলৈকে ঠেলি দিছে. এই ক্লাছ খিনি যদি আপোনালোকে ৰেগুলাৰ এটেন্ড কৰি লয়, ওকে, এভৰি অল্টাৰনেট ডেজত 5টা পৰা 7টা লৈকে আপোনাৰ কাৰেন্ট এফেয়াৰ্স ক্লাছ খিনি থাকিব, 15 দিন থাকিব. 15 দিনত যদি আপুনি গোটেই পইণ্টছ খিনি এখন কপিত লিখি থৈ দিয়ে, it will help you in your revision. আৰু সেইখিনি পইণ্ট আপুনি পঢ়ি যদি আনসাৰ লিখিব পাৰে, you will আপোনালোকৰ প্ৰিপাৰেচন আধা হৈ যাব. ঠিক আছে, so the point is that you should be writing it down in a copy. Okay, at least the important points. Next, so yat handloom development corporation kotha koa ase under this. Okay, so eloko joito asile and Northeast Regional Agricultural Marketing Corporation Limited. So eloko joito asile this international buyer seller method. Okay, so national international branch kotha koa ase. Next topic I say YouTube creator ecosystem contributes rupees 6,800 crore to Indian economy in 2020. Okay, so this is a huge thing. 6,800 crores Indian economic contribute korise YouTube creators. All right, so this is a new dimension altogether, a new dimension for your exam. Aru social media impact on Indian economy directly the proshno ahibo pare. Okay, jane climate change or eta impact khude. okay, on Indian economy, and I guess social media and Indian economy, the potential, the challenges, okay, anything. In fact, not only a question on GS3 economy part, but you can even expect an essay, okay, এখন essay আপোনালোকে expect কৰিব পাৰে social media, role of social media in Indian society, for example, এটা general কৰি দিলো, okay, এটা general topic social media, তো তাত বহুত points লিখিব পাৰিব, okay. আৰু মই এটা কথা আপোনালোকক ক'ব বিচাৰিম যে যেতিয়া আপুনি essay লিখে, okay, if you're not able to find out topics, যদি আপোনালোকে তাৰ পৰা points বিচাৰি, if you're not able to find out points, যদি points বিচাৰি পোৱা নাই, then you take help of the syllabus itself, okay. The syllabus of jimanta angles ase, jimanta portions ase, for example, jikono topic or eta geographical angle dibo pare, eta historical angle dibo pare, okay. Moi GS1 er pa jodi arambho koru, eta topic loi lok, tar kimanta dimension apnaloke banaba paribo. GS1 ত historical angle dile, geographical angle dile, Indian society angle dile, art and culture angle dile, jikono topic or. Next apnaloke eta political angle dile, eta governance angle dile, eta international angle dile. Next economical angle dile, environmental angle dile, তাৰপিছত আপোনালোকে সায়েন্স এণ্ড টেকনলজি এটা এংগল দিলে, এটা ডিজাস্টাৰ এংগল দিলে, ওকে, এটা সিকিউৰিটি এংগল দিলে, সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া সিকিউৰিটি এংগলৰ কথাও আছে, তাৰ লগত আপোনালোকে এটা এথিকেল এংগল দিলে, ওকে. সো অল টুগেদাৰ মিলাই আপোনাৰ 10টা 12টা পইণ্টছ হৈ যায়, 10-12টা পইণ্টছ লিখিলে ইট ইজ মোৰ দেন সাফিচিয়েন্ট ফৰ এনি এছে, ওকে. সো ইফ ইউ নট, এণ্ড দিছ ইজ হাউ ইউ থিংক, দিছ ইজ হাউ ইউ মেক ইউৰ আনসাৰ মাল্টি ডাইমেনশ্যনেল, আপোনালোকে আপোনালোকৰ উত্তৰটো মাল্টি ডাইমেনশ্যনেল কৰিব পাৰিব, okay. So I expect যে আপোনালোকে যেতিয়া আপোনাৰ answers বোৰ লিখিব, try to write more dimensions, more angles, add more content, but it has to be relevant, okay. It has to be relevant for your answers, and just start thinking in this manner. You will see এক মাহৰ আপোনালোকৰ বহুতখিনি চেঞ্জেছ আহিব, but আপোনালোকে লিখি প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰিব লাগিব, okay. So I hope you will start doing it, okay. Moving ahead, যদি কিবা ডাউট আছে আপুনি সুধিব পাৰে কমেন্ট সেকশনত. So this is a social media, it's a huge impact to the economic growth, okay, home of creative entrepreneurs. So full time equivalent jobs in India, okay, ইমান 6 লাখ, okay, যেটা সরকারে 1 লাখ চাকৰি দিবলে কষ্ট কৰি আছে, you can see that 6 lakhs, around 7 lakhs of full time equivalent jobs in India in 2020 that YouTube has created, entrepreneurs have generated, okay. So iman in employment, YouTube has become an employment. So more question, MSME is the backbone of India's economy. Is YouTube the backbone of India's economy? Is it having a future potential? Okay, we can think about it. Iman hini, see, employment generation is a revenue, GDP contribution. Then 80% of creative entrepreneurs report that YouTube has had a positive impact on their professional goals, okay. Now backbone hobole amar export hobole bo, inclusive growth promote korbo lebo, okay, enabling environment. So all those things are also there. Anyways, so YouTube aru impact of globalization, YouTube upward impact of globalization at our factors, and globalization is a topic in Indian society, okay. So from that angle also you should be thinking, all right. Okay, so there is a report by Oxford Economics, an independent consulting firm, assessed YouTube's economic, social and cultural impact in India. ঠিক আছে. So YouTubeৰ social impact কি হৈছে, cultural impact কি হৈছে, economic impact কি হৈছে, এই গোটেইখিনি এই ৰিপৰ্টখনত দিছে, okay. So definitely there are so many impacts to সব এংগেলতে হ'ব, অকল economic এংগেলতে নহয়, cultural angle to hoise. I'll tell you one of the best cultural angle যে কি impact hoise. I'll tell you. YouTube আহাৰ পিছত আগতে আমি যেতিয়া এখন সমাজৰ ডাঙৰ দীঘল হওঁ, ওকে, আমাৰ অসমৰ সমাজৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালীয়ে কি পঢ়ি ডাঙৰ দীঘল হৈছিলে, ধৰি লওক আমাৰ অসমীয়া মাধ্যমত পঢ়িলে, অসমীয়া মাধ্যমত আমি কিছুমান আমাৰ ফোক কালচাৰৰ কথা পঢ়ি পেলাই ডাঙৰ দীঘল হৈছিলোঁ, হয়নে, আমাৰ বুঢ়ী আই সাধু কথা পঢ়ি ডাঙৰ দীঘল হৈছিলোঁ. তেনেকৈ সিমিলাৰলি কেৰেলাৰ ৰাজ্যত বা মহাৰাষ্ট্ৰ বা অন্ধ্ৰপ্ৰদেশ বা দিল্লী, হাৰিয়ানা এনেকুৱা ৰাজ্যবোৰত তেওঁলোকৰ নিজৰ ফোক কালচাৰ, ফোক টেল ষ্টৰিজ এইবোৰ পঢ়ি শুনি তেওঁলোকে আমাৰ স্কুলত সেইবোৰ হৈছিলে ডাঙৰ দীঘল. কিন্তু আজিৰ তাৰিখত যদি আপোনালোকে মন কৰে, কিছুমান এটা গ্লোবেলাইজেশ্যন অফ কালচাৰ হৈছে সৰু বাচ্চাবোৰৰ পৰা, যে সৰু বয়সতে তেওঁলোকক কিছুমান কাৰ্টুনৰ ভিডিঅ'জ প্লে কৰি দিয়া দেখা যায় পেৰেণ্টছসকলে, আৰু সেই কাৰ্টুনবোৰ কিন্তু প্ৰত্যেকখন ষ্টেটত এটা ইউনিফৰ্ম এটা গ্লোবেলাইজেশ্যন অফ কালচাৰ, যিহেতু বাহিৰৰ কাৰ্টুন কেৰেক্টাৰো হ'ব পাৰে বা এটা পেন ইণ্ডিয়া লেভেলৰ এটা কাৰ্টুন কেৰেক্টাৰ হ'ব পাৰে, য'ত আমাৰ ফোক টেলছ জড়িত নাই কিন্তু, ঠিক আছে, so YouTube and its impact on culture. So I'm just giving you one angle to think. গম পাইছে, এইটো জাষ্ট এটা এংগল হৈছে যে বাচ্চাবোৰক কেনেকৈ গ্ল'বেলাইজেশ্যন অফ ইউটিউবে এটা আমাৰ কালচাৰেল ভেলিউজত ইম্পেক্ট পেলাইছে, অ'কে। চ' that impact will be also there in other angles, okay. So moving ahead, the Indian Institute, so মই হেতুৱে কৈছো যে ইউটিউবৰ পৰা বা গ্ল'বেলাইজেশ্যনৰ পৰা এটা হেতু টপিকৰ নামে আছে ইণ্ডিয়ান সোসাইটিত যে গ্ল'বেলাইজেশ্যন এণ্ড ইটছ ইম্পেক্ট, অ'কে, অন ডিফাৰেণ্ট এক্সপেক্টছ অফ দি সোসাইটি। কেতিয়াবা ইউথছ দিব পাৰে, কেতিয়াবা women দিব পাৰে, কেতিয়াবা Indian society overall দিব পাৰে বা Assam society দিব পাৰে বা, okay, so you should be thinking from different angles altogether. So next news of the আমি আগবাঢ়ো, so Indian Institute of Bank Management Guwahati conducted a one-day online workshop on emerging role of fintechs in MSME lending by banks. Okay, so this is a very important topic. The financial technology যি আছে MSME ক্ষেত্ৰত, okay, so এইখিনিৰ ওপৰত এটা workshop conduct কৰিছে, not very important, it means directly question নাহে, but মই আগে আপোনালোকক অলৰেডি কৈ দিছিলোঁ যে MSME ওপৰত প্ৰশ্ন আহিব পাৰে, okay, বা ফাইনেন্সিয়েল টেকনলজি ওপৰত কোৱেশ্চন আহিব পাৰে, বা ধৰি লওক আপোনালোকৰ ডিজিটেল ইণ্ডিয়া ওপৰত প্ৰশ্ন আহিব পাৰে। so how it can help to promote MSME sector in India and why it is very important to promote MSME sector, আমি already to discuss কৰিছোঁ, so that is very important from your exam perspective, okay. Next আমি যদি state level workshop on next news আমি আগবাঢ়ো, তো state level sustainable development goals. Now you know that this is one of the very important topic from exam perspective, okay, sustainable development goals. So sustainable development goals আপোনালোকে এইটো চাব লাগিব যে যোৱা বছৰো আমাৰ APSC মেইনছত SDG গোলৰ ওপৰত প্ৰশ্ন আহিছিলে, আমি দেখা পাইছো, এবাৰো হয়তো আহিব পাৰে, আৰু আপোনালোকে এই গোটেইকেইটা গোল আপোনালোকে চোৱাটো বহুত দৰকাৰী। if you see that there are 17 goals, I think এবাৰ প্ৰিলিমছতো এইটো প্ৰশ্ন আহিছিলে যে কিমানটা গোল আছে, এনেকুৱা কিমানটা প্ৰশ্ন আহিছিলে, okay। so যোৱাবাৰ প্ৰশ্নটো ডাইৰেক্টলি মেনশ্যন কৰিছিলে যে গোল নম্বৰ 2 নে 1 দিছিলে, গোল নম্বৰ 2 যদি ৰিমুভ কৰিব লাগে, what are the government steps that are required to, বা তেনেকুৱা এটা প্ৰশ্ন আছিলে, okay। so এটা যদি আপুনি গোল নম্বৰ 2 নাজানিলে হয় তেতিয়াহ'লে আপোনাৰ গোটেই প্ৰশ্নৰ উত্তৰটো ভুল হোৱাৰ চান্সেছ আছিলে। তো গোল নম্বৰ 2 জিৰ' হাংগাৰ আছে, okay। এতিয়া যদি আপুনি জিৰ' হাংগাৰৰ জেগাত যদি এডুকেশ্যন লিখি দিয়ে যে এডুকেশ্যন, তে গোটেই আনসাৰটো আপোনাৰ ভুল হৈ যাব, okay। so it is very even it is important যে আপোনাৰ গোটেইকেইটা গোল মুখস্থ থাকিব লাগিব, okay, it is very important। আৰু আমাৰ টেষ্ট সিৰিজতো আপোনালোকে এটা প্ৰশ্ন পাব on this sustainable development goals topic, because it is a very important topic। এটা 2030 লৈকে যিটো গোল সেট কৰা আছে, okay, that is why it becomes very important। আৰু ইয়াত অলমোষ্ট সব গোটেইকেইটা সেক্টৰছতে আপোনাৰ কোৱেশ্চনছ আহিব পাৰে, পভাৰ্টি ওপৰত কোৱেশ্চন আহিব পাৰে, ইনফেক্ট এখন এছএও আহিব পাৰে, হাংগাৰ ওপৰত, okay, good health and well-being, quality education, very important topic, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, স্বচ্ছ ভাৰত অভিযান মিছন চলি আছে তাৰ ওপৰত, okay। 5 নম্বৰ আৰু 10 নম্বৰ সব ইনইকুৱেলিটিজ ওপৰত হয়, এইটো জেন্ডাৰ ইকুৱেলিটি, এইটো ওভাৰঅল ইনইকুৱেলিটি কেনেকৈ ৰিমুভ কৰিম আমাৰ কান্ট্ৰিত, okay, বা অল ওভাৰ দ্য ৱৰ্ল্ড। so বাকি এফৰ্ডেবল এণ্ড ক্লিন এনাৰ্জি ওপৰত, ৰিনিউৱেবল এনাৰ্জি সোৰ্চৰ কথা কোৱা হ'ব পাৰে ইয়াত, okay। so decent work and economic growth, so these topics are very important, okay। so এইকেইটা টপিক আপোনালোকে I will ask you যে আপোনালোকে এটা হোমৱৰ্ক কৰক, okay। আমি কোৱেশ্চনছ দিম আপোনালোক টেষ্ট সিৰিজত যে suppose there is poverty, right? so poverty is a topic, so you at least find out that what are the reasons of poverty in Indian society and what are the government steps taken to remove, alleviate poverty or eliminate poverty. Poverty altogether is a huge topic, হয়নে? poverty প্ৰথমতে আমাৰ আছিলে যে আমি poverty প্ৰথম আমি alleviation of poverty look after কৰিম, but then after নীতি আয়োগ আমাৰ ফৰ্ম হৈছে আৰু নীতি আয়োগ অহাৰ পিছত আমাৰ ভাৰতীয় মডেল অফ গভৰ্নেন্স এষ্টাব্লিছ হৈছে, and ভাৰতীয় মডেল অফ গভৰ্নেন্স অহাৰ পিছত we no longer talk about alleviation of poverty, we talk about what? elimination of poverty, complete elimination of poverty। so তাৰ কাৰণে বহুত কিছুমান আমি স্কিমছ হাতত লৈছো, বহুত আগৰ পৰাই কিছুমান স্কিমছ আছে, okay। এতিয়া ফুড সিকিউৰিটি ক্ষেত্ৰত যেনেকৈ নেশ্যনেল সিকিউৰিটি ফুড এক্ট আছিলে, য'ত almost 67% of the population of a country are getting rice, wheat and coarse cereals at just 1 rupees, 2 rupees and 3 rupees। মিড ডে মিল স্কিম, এইবোৰ কি হয়? এইবোৰ হাংগাৰ পভাৰ্টি ৰিমুভ কৰা স্কিমছ হয়, okay। but now we are ভাৰতীয় মডেল অফ গভৰ্নেন্স অহাৰ পিছত we are trying to create what? we are trying to empower the citizens hands, so that once they are uplifted from the poverty line, তেওঁলোক যাতে আকৌ তললৈ নাযায় যাতে, অ'কে, বিকজ আগতে কি হৈছিল তেওঁলোকক জাষ্ট আমি কিবা কি ইয়াত ৰাখিব বিচাৰিছোঁ, বাট ইফ দে আৰ যেনেকৈ ফৰ এক্সাম্পল এমজি নাৰেগা স্কিম, অ'কে, এমজি নাৰেগা স্কিম ইজ অলছ' আ স্কিম টু এলিভিয়েট আ পাৰ্চন ফ্ৰম পভাৰ্টি, অ'কে, যে এই বছৰ তেওঁ কাম কৰিছে ইয়াত আছে, অ'কে, বাট নেক্সট ইয়াৰ যদি তেওঁৰ গা বেয়া হয়, ইফ হেল্থ ইজ নট লুক আফটাৰ, that person is not able to work, he again goes down below poverty line. So we should not be looking after only alleviation of poverty, we should completely eliminate poverty. Or there was this report that even after running this many number of schemes for 70-75 years of independence, still absolute figures of around 30 crores of people still in India are still below poverty line. Okay, so this is a very big concern for the country. So hekarne ami eta poverty is itself is a topic, ya upor direct question ahi pare, direct essay ahi pare. Similarly hunger, okay, to hunger karone iman bhur schemes ase, mid day meal scheme opra undernourishment tackle koribole amar national food security act hok ba annapurna anna yojana hok, okay, so there are so many schemes which are being launched to remove hunger, and this is talking about zero hunger, okay. So apnai gotei government schemes janibo lagibo that what are the schemes that are being launched to remove hunger from our society. Then good health and well-being, here apnai directly in ami International Day of Yoga lot start korislu, and you can relate to that International Yoga Day to promote good health and well-being, right? So International Yoga Day becomes a very important part of this particular goal, and in order to achieve this goal we have to look after the International Yoga Day. At the same time, even the teachings of Buddhism is also coming here. Quality education, okay, so we all know quality education karone kiman schemes launched, or even government of Assam has launched a Disha portal during the COVID time period to maintain the quality education, okay. Even there is a national optical fiber network junto etia digital India under ami quality education promote koribole use korim, which is also launching your Bharat Net project, okay. Tar logot ami gote gaon panchayat bur internally connect koribole tat, so that the schools are getting the proper quality education with the help of internet, যাতে digital divide হই না থাকে, okay, between rural India versus urban India, okay. So to maintain quality education, we can talk about a new education policy of 2020, okay, so to promote quality education and improve the education scenario. So এই গুটেইবোৰ বস্তু আপোনালোকে interrelate কৰিব পাৰিব লাগিব, okay, with the current affairs, with the news and everything. তাৰ লগত gender equality কথা কোৱা হৈছে, gender equality আমি কিমান কথা ক'ব পাৰো, okay, how we are trying to remove the gender inequality, okay, by promoting reservation in panchayats, for example, in the field of politics ami reserve 33% reserve kori rakhisu, so that is a way to promote gender equality. Now we are talking about promoting reservation, whether to bring reservation in our legislature also, in the parliament also or not, okay, that this kind of not only in the field of politics but also in the field of other things, in the field of literacy, in the field of entitlements, for example, to the already question the schemes for ownership rights, if it is being given to the woman and the female, that is also promoting gender equality, okay. So these things have to be looked after. Then we are talking about clean water and sanitation, which is getting related with hygiene, health, okay, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan mission, okay. So aru বহুত খিনি বস্তু ৰিলেট হৈ আছে. So এই গুটেইখিনি বস্তু এই গুটেই মই জাস্ট এটা ছটা এক্সাম্পল দি আপোনাক দেখাব বিচাৰিছো যে এই গুটেই 17টা গোল আপোনাক কোৱেশ্চন পাব, তাৰ 17টা গোলত আপুনি এনেকৈ গুটেইখিনি বস্তু ৰিলেট কৰি ৰাখিব, এটলিষ্ট 4টা পইণ্ট, okay, 4টা পইণ্ট প্ৰত্যেকটো গোলৰ ৰিলেট কৰি ৰাখিব. If any question is coming on sustainable development goals, you will be able to tackle this particular topic, okay. Are you getting it? Kiba doubt ase jodi you can ask me in the comment section, okay. Okay, if there is any doubt, please ask me. So we will stop here for today's class, okay. Baki khini ami next our session of continue korim. Apnalor jodi kiba queries ase apni comment section fudibo pare. I hope this session is going to help you and benefit you in your preparation for mains and also for your upcoming exams. এই যিমান টপিক আমি ডিসকাস কৰিছো তাৰ পৰা আপোনালোকে কোৱেশ্চনছ পাব আপোনালোকৰ আমাৰ টেষ্ট সিৰিজত, okay. So I hope there are no questions as of now. So if there are any questions, you can ask us in the comment section later on. Our team will get back to you. So it was lovely interacting with all of you. Halke pohok, jiman pare answer writing প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰক অ'কে আমাক ইভালুৱেশ্যন কৰক কিবা ডিটেইলছ লাগিলে তলত ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যন লিংক আছে এইটো ৰেজিষ্ট্ৰেশ্যন কৰিব আৰু ফোন নম্বৰ দিয়া আছে ফোনত কণ্টেক্ট কৰিব আমাৰ www.csap.co.in স্কেডুলখন পাব চ' আই উইচ ইউ অল দ্য বেষ্ট কিবা থাকিলে আমাক কণ্টেক্ট কৰিব থেংক ইউ ছ' মাছ নেক্সট ছেশ্যনত আকৌ লগ পাম থেংক ইউ